At the bottom left of Whirlwind, we have the STX Soul player. He starts in yellow, it's the Protoss, he calls himself
STX Soul Trap.
Sounds like a good place to trap souls.
Yeah, trap card activated in game number 1. Worked well. Nice micro, especially on those Colossi, putting those Marines into the line of fire. Cross position to the top right, the former Fnatic player. It is
Alive.
both of these guys are struggling a little bit in this matchup at hand. And Alive is not looking too happy.
No, he's not. You know, it's always rough to go through team transitions, even if the transition was smooth from leaving your team. You know, if you made good agreements with the team and you leave on good terms, even then, it's a stressful period trying to find a new team, trying to figure out what's going on, especially it's such a fragile period, like just requalifying for Code A. This is the last season of the Winged Silver. You're trying to switch over to Beta. You're now teamless. Where do you live? You know, that kind of situation can be very stressful.
And the where do you live part, of course, refers to the Koreans usually living in team houses when they are in a team. This was also true for the Fnatic team, which the Korean part basically disbanded.
Yeah. As far as I know, the last update I had is Oz the only person living in the Fnatic house.
I think they still had Jay in there, but yeah.
Regardless, you know, this is a teamless period now for Alive. He needs to prove himself here. He's going for a CC first on a big map. Luckily for him, it's cross spawn.
It's completely opposite to what he did on map number 1.
Yeah, totally shifting gears here.
And on Whirlwind, you always have so many options as a Protoss player. We've seen so many attacks here with just gateways. Then you can go for proxied immortals and just trying to go for it, bust through. On the other hand, playing an eco game with 2 bases is also something that you can try to pull off. So we're gonna find out what exactly Trap is going to do. He has the first map won, so that gives him a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, certainly does.
At least should.
Now, he still doesn't know what Alive is doing. Alive has made his command center totally exposed on the low ground. He has now a Marine popping out, and this Marine will try to deny the probe. The problem is the probe's already here, so he's going to see this command center first, and that's the moment where Trap has to make a choice. Do I get aggressive here? Do I try to cut everything and make a faster Nexus? Let's find out what he chooses.
He moves down and he saves up a lot of minerals, so it looks like we will see an expand by Trap for now.
Yep, starts a sentry, will make a Nexus, so he's just going to accept being in some ways behind but ahead in tech. He's going to take that trade-off.
Yeah. It all comes down to the question how well Alive now defends and transitions.
Yeah, and there's a Zealot, Stalker, and Probe Pressure attack coming out here before the bunker is quite done. This is going to be close. Looks like the bunker will finish just in time, but he will be able to run by.
Yeah, but the main question is, will the bunker be done? And that's the case. If the bunker isn't done, then these few units at the front door of Alive can kill a Terran player. But more important is that we had the scout for Alive to the bottom left, so he was able to sneak into the main base. We saw it on screen already. Alive has the scouting information that he needs.
Yep. Look at this. Again, Trap with a really fast Forge. Gets a Forge. We'll be able to get his armor up really fast.
Crazy fast.
I mean, this is a 5-minute Forge.
That's like the fastest Forge that I've seen in a long time.
It's like the fastest Forge I've seen. It's like faster than a Forge Fast Expand versus Zerg Forge.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually about to say exactly the same thing.
Yeah. I'm like, is he going to try to cannon him? Like, yeah, he's just going to get really fast +1 armor. This is going to give him an incredible upgrade lead, which is quite unique. We don't really see Forges this fast in this matchup.
And that's also making up for some very interesting timings that we have here. With a +1 armor this early in the game. Nice by Trap here, saving a Stalker. Well done. Alive, trying to just push out a little bit and test the waters. No, this Stalker is not something that he can kill.
He's just very, very careful with that Stalker. Twilight Council goes down. I'm wondering if we're going to see one of these +2 armor charge Zealot attacks. This is a great map for it. May even see Archons with it, because he'll have enough time to start some Archons while he's getting +2 armor out if he wants to go for that attack. This is all just pure speculation, but it's entirely possible.
Yeah, but look at this, with the Twilight Council without the robotics.
Yeah.
So no scan ability. Well, sorry, no detection.
No scouting.
Yeah, no detection that he has. This is really, really interesting.
That one Stalker has damaged these Marines pretty heavily. Very
He has so
annoying
many
for Alive.
options with this. He can go into Archons, he can go into Charge, he can go for a massive attack, and then we have the Templar Archive.
I think he may try to hit this timing.
I think so too.
The probe goes down. We're about to find out. I'm going to watch very carefully what he uses his Chrono Boost on, because that's really, I think, the biggest tell. His Chrono Boost now is +1 armor. No charge as of yet. He might go for Storm first, and if he goes for Storm, it means he's probably not trying to hit a timing.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be a Storm. I mean, we don't have Charge started just yet, so a Zealot and Archon composition at this point without the Charge upgrade would be a little bit weird. The +1 armor upgrade would be great. He could still.
He could get it late because there's Storm. He could have gotten the Charge with the +2 armor, but you're right, it would have been a little bit weirder. This is still a pretty strange build to have Storm coming out at 830. We've seen players like Mana do similar builds, but even not quite like this one.
It's super fast Storm.
Yeah, I remember Inca going for Storm like this a few times early on as well.
Good old Inca.
Good old Inca, man. I mean, that's literally one of the only few players. I remember Tester as well doing a build like this, but I mean, these are players from like 2010 from OGS, dude. Like, I mean,
wow. I mean, Inca was already pulling one of the nostalgic strings. Now we have suddenly Tester back in the loop.
Yeah, man. SKS, dude. Don't forget. Good old Trickster. All right, here we go. Stim comes down, and he actually should be able to micro pretty well against this. He needs to save his Templar, but Alive sees his Templar, so now he knows how to react. He needs to start a Ghost Academy as soon as possible.
And he really has to. We have Storm finished before Combat Shield is done. Think about that for a second.
Yeah. I'm trying to come to terms with it. This one Zealot in the middle of the map has been wrecking havoc. He kills 2 units now. He go back and control the Watchtower and kill some Marines.
Alive with a very interesting reaction to seeing the High Templar. He builds a command center.
Yeah. The command center, by the way, built in the main base. All the bases have pylons on them. He's got a pylon in every location where Alive could potentially want to hide a base, including this one. He's canceled it.
Yeah. There's the Ghost Academy. Okay, he saw it. For a second, I was really worried that he just missed it.
Yeah, he needs a Ghost Academy. There are 4 High Templar, and the energy levels on 2 of them are good enough for Storms. The other 2 need about 10 more in-game seconds.
Alive certainly has the map control at this point for now, but the problem really is that as soon as Charge is done, and especially the +2 armor upgrade, Trap will have such a strong army. For Alive, attacking is nearly impossible. If he runs into Storms, that's something that he can't make up for. And as soon as those Zealots have the Charge upgrade and +2 armor, it's kind of impossible for him to face a strong gateway composition.
Not without good EMPs, that is. You know, if he gets good EMPs, which is easier said than done, he can take a fight.
Make that perfect EMPs.
Especially with this many sentries available as well, still alive.
And the second armory Forge is already coming up, so he will be able to get +2/+2.
Yeah, the upgrades
double
are
upgrades, I mean.
insane. And, I mean, with Zealots to buffer, with that much armor, he's starting +3 for the armor for the Zealots now.
And he's really chrono boosting his forges continuously. He's not missing a second here, so that is really helping him a lot. There's one Marine. This is Rambo going in and taking down the High Templar. Is he actually able to get it? No, the Zealot's charging him.
He needs to get out of here with those units in the middle of the map. He certainly would have. He cannot fight this Protoss army right now. Absolutely no chance. He's going to kill another pylon. These pylons from Trap are pretty cool for spotting drops, but it's actually turned out to be more of a liability for him. He's alive and now killed almost every single one of them.
The cool thing is that Trap is building his pylons the entire time preemptively, so that there's no problem with him being supplied. Like, they really like this. Even if he loses 1 or 2, he's going to be completely fine.
And, you know, if he catches a drop with that, that makes it well worth it. This Zealot will see the 3rd base. That's all he's going to see. He can't actually kill any units. In fact, he doesn't even get close enough to see that command center, oddly enough. Now he's going to run in. He can get some SCVs here to the top right.
And talking about the SCVs, the harvester count now is basically even. 62 to 60. The Zealot trying to change that, but not too successful because the Marines are alive, they are ready. But in regards to harvesters, the economy at this point a bit better for Alive if you figure in those mules.
Absolutely, and you know, Trap killed 2 SCVs and a Marine with that. That was pretty successful. He also forced this army to turn around. But even so, even with those kills, like you said, the harvester count even, so Alive has that mule advantage. Tech, though, I feel, is still in favor of Trap. There are only 4 ghosts on the map, and he needs to get really good EMPs if he wants to hope to take some engagements, especially considering those upgrades.
And now being on 3 bases, Trap doesn't stop with the Storm and his High Templar. He goes into Robotics Bay and the second Robo, because he wants to make sure that he has a transition at hand. Here's a fight in the middle of the map, but yeah, Trap basically is saying, no, I did not expect you to be at the Zalnaga Watchtower, and I guess I back off here.
This is a pretty aggressive move by Alive, but if he messes up his EMPs, if he gets feedback, for example...
Oh my god, did you see that?
Yeah, I
Those
saw
High
that. Oh,
Templars
no.
at the back? What a great EMP. That was awesome.
I can't even believe he went for EMP instead of snipes there. Well, he snipes him regardless, but...
I think he just wanted to be super safe.
Yeah. Good force fields here.
That was really well done,
though. That was excellent.
If Trap sneaks those High Templars in, he can obliterate the entire army of the Terran player without even losing a single unit.
Yep, very true. And as a result of this little skirmish, Trap is really behind. He no longer has those Templar that he had. He doesn't have those Storms they were never used.
Nice. I was just about to say that he should use a scan to make sure that he kills the Observer, but no, he uses the EMP instead.
The only problem is he EMP'd his own ghosts, but regardless, he's still got a lot of EMPs left.
Yeah, definitely enough. He's trying to get under the high ground. And here we go. Bye-bye High Templars, and suddenly there's no Storm available. We don't have Colossi.
We certainly don't, but remember the upgrades are much better for Trap. The problem is I feel his army is a little bit too small.
Yeah, it's very much too small. Right now there's not a lot that Trap can actually do. Those High Templars are certainly missing, and look at this DPS.
Another EMP, and Alive is pushing through. Really wants to turn this series around. Running up now into the ramp. And no way. I don't think he can hold this. No AoE damage.
There's no way for Trap to hold this. Yes, those Zealots, they are doing a lot of damage. He's actually pushing it back. Where are the reinforcements?
There's the next wave, and they have ghosts in them, so he can snipe, he can EMP, he can do what he wants.
I was waiting for the rest of his supply, and there it is. Still with 1,000 minerals in the bank, and he needs to hit his production cycle.
No Colossi.
Exactly what he has.
He has range, but no Colossi. He's making an Immortal for some reason. I think he's messed up his revives. He doesn't even have Disrupt bodies being used.
Trap is losing way too much here. In resources lost, he's so far behind already. He's 50 supply down. Alive is hitting the production cycles. He's hitting the upgrades. He's going for the +3 attack upgrade. The only thing that really kept Trap in the last few fights is his advantage in the upgrades.
Yeah, and that advantage is fading away as Alive now starts 3-3. Trap, on the other hand, has +3 armor and not +3 weapons, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he only has +2. He has +2 attack and +1 shield, so kind of a weird set of upgrades for Trap. But Alive is closing that gap.
Alive is not stopping.
He needs to drop those Storms out of that Warp Prism. I don't know if they have enough energy in there. It's a bit unknown at this moment in time.
Alive needs to be careful though, with him not killing the third base, instead opting for going into the natural and then retreating as he's not quite sure if he can pull through. He needs to make sure that he keeps Trap under control. This is what the drop is for. Taking down Harvesters, even getting out here, even though we had a feedback. For him it's really important to keep Trap on his toes, because we still have a 3-base against 3-base economy.
Yeah, that's very true. This drop will get cleaned up now. No medevac speed boost. And this attack by Alive at this next base is going to be a game decider most likely, because either Trap somehow crazily holds here and destroys this army and goes for a counterattack, or Alive wins the game.
The thing is, we have a double Colossus production, and just now the Vikings have been started, and you can really see that Alive did not set up a second starport. He is now building it, which is a little bit late to have the Vikings out in time.
And don't forget about those Storms in the Warp Prism.
Exactly. That's one of the things that is also really important here. If Trap gets both area of effect damage types in, then Alive's bio is going to melt away. This is a battle of micro now.
Alive still does not have 3-3. It's almost done. +3 weapons is about to finish.
Trap is in much better shape at this point than I thought he would be. He's still behind, but he looked dead.
He does not try to hold this watchtower though. The Warp Prism is floating around on the other side, so he could try to fly in from the back. We've seen Squirtle completely mess this up. It's actually a lot easier said than done to come in with a flank with a Warp Prism.
I think that's what he's trying to do. This is his trap card.
Yes, quite literally.
Trying to play true to his name.
Yeah, we'll see if Alive activates it.
The forward scans, making sure that he has the Ghost in a good position to get the EMPs off, but Trap is paying attention to the map. He has the Colossi there, countering them.
And just a few seconds, Alive will actually have the upgrade lead, 3-3 against 2-3.
And the Warp Prism is moving in, guys. Here come those EMPs. He's moving in again.
Colossi, and this is not a good engagement angle for Trap, but he gets good storms. That could change everything. Does he have enough DPS? I just don't think so, not without that +3.
Here come the high temp
but those storms are so good, but is it enough?
The storms were great.
Zealots coming in from the back.
He warps in another round of Zealots and he needs them.
Oh, picks up the Colossus and the Warp Prism. He needs to drop it out because the Vikings. But still, he loses it, but that was insane, Micro.
That was crazy. The Vikings, though, taking out the Warp Prism and then not stopping, killing the Colossus as well. Well done. And now, once again, the 30 supply lead for Alive goes into the +1 armor upgrade for his anti-air units, trying to establish himself a 4th base now.
Yeah, the problem is there's a factory on that 4th with a Marine guarding it, so taking that 4th base not easy.
Alive tried, but
okay.
there are a few Zealots up to the top and he couldn't place down the command center.
Trap wants to take a 4th base as well. Alive actually has the command center already built though.
Resources lost 20,000 to 17,000 in favor of Alive, who darts in to kill another High Templar. Nice.
But yeah, nice snipe there.
Yeah, Alive is on 3-3 and Trap also upgrading his units even more, is now on a +3 armor, +2 shields and +2 attack. About to complete +3 attack.
He needs a 4th base though. Alive is going to get one.
Yeah.
He will have to clean up the Zealot, but that's a lot easier than cleaning up that factory, which is still occupying the 4th here.
This is such a close game. Look at the gas bank though for Alive.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Trap continues to produce Immortals. You do not see this very often, but in a low economy game like this, producing Immortals can add a nice buffer, especially with the Marauder count this high at 19 to 27.
So many Ghosts on the other hand for Alive, and they will really work well against the shields. And, well, there might be another battle just to 10. Look at the supply, how the gap is closing between the two of them.
It's insane. Trap really not missing a beat. Look at Alive's resource management. 2,000 gas in the bank, 100 minerals.
Yeah.
And a lot of this gas, or the minerals rather, go into the Ghosts.
He's gonna drop the Mulehammer pretty soon on one of these expansions. The 4th base, of course, no secret for Alive. He knows that his factory has been killed, so this is the only spot where the Protoss player can establish himself another base. And Alive knows it. He's gonna try to get in there. I actually feel with what he has, he could even go... I don't really think that we're gonna see a nuke, but he could go for one nuke and trying to just draw the units of Trap out a little bit.
Yeah, and I think he certainly will if the game goes a little bit longer.
Well, he's trying to go up the ramp. He needs those scans. This is one of the reasons why he's not going all excessive, all out on the mules, because he needs to have the vision. High ground vision here is really important. If you have it, you can use those EMPs if your opponent is not careful with his positioning. But if you lack it, then suddenly you run straight into storms.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't get that feedback off. This is a good angle for Trap, though.
Yeah, a really good angle for him, and now suddenly Alive wants to fight. The first storm is not good enough. A second one is not there. Here comes the stutter step for the
Even without
player.
the storms, though, those Archons do a ton of damage, and the Immortals at the back change the fight. Alive, remaxing as fast as possible.
The supply is relatively even. I don't think Trap can keep fighting this army. He needs to move back and wait for more warp ends.
Trap is not mining from his 4th base just yet, and as you already said, Trap really had a strong army here, and he re-warped immediately, had those units in, Alive with a stutter step, taking a lot of losses, but he has better production right now. The lead in overall supply goes to the Protoss though, and this game is just getting more insane by the minute.
Trap is going to go for an attack, it looks like, at the 3rd base of Alive, but there's bunkers.
I love this drop.
Yeah, this is really nicely done. Drops like this in the late game are pretty rarely seen.
Drop it like it's hot. Here we go. Drops them in and needs to pick them up and get into the main, but
oh
he's
wow,
too
he takes
scared.
out the Templar.
He's too scared of the... It takes on another one. No! Yes, he does. With the last shot, gets it off. Medivac a little bit too scared of a feedback.
Yeah, that Medivac has a lot of energy, so feedback would be a problem. He targets the bunker here. These Zealots I was talking about earlier. This forces Alive to stem and get the rest of his units over here, but this is not going to be enough Marines, I feel, to clean this up. There goes the next wave.
Yeah. There he has the unit that he needs. But
Alive
still,
is in trouble, man. I don't know if he has enough units here. He needs perfect EMPs. This planetary is not attackable, though.
you need sick EMPs in this situation. You need to make sure that there are no storms, that all those units don't have shields anymore. This is crazy.
That one Zealot with all of its upgrades is doing a lot here. He's just trying to out-position Alive. He wants Alive to run up there, then hit Storms on the way down! Good Storms so far. The Ghost trying to close the distance. So well zoned by Trap there.
Maybe he can get the EMPs in now. He's trying to. Here
He's
comes
a Storm.
Templars.
One
Good
still
one.
has energy.
Great EMP. Can he get the next one? Another
Nice
snipe.
snipes. No more
Look at
Storms.
those EMPs. The EMPs.
What? A Storm on the top of the high ground. Oh, game-changing Storms Alive. It's
Oh
down to
my God.
110 supply.
That took down a life supply.
And
so
the Immortals
fast.
are actually really nice here.
They are really, really good. But now can he kill the rest of the army? This is suddenly Alive, hitting the T button like a boss, trying to go through it.
The
He doesn't
Immortals.
target correctly. Now he does. Takes down 1, 2, 3, and the last one. Alive somehow back in this.
But
back in
that
this
one
battle.
Zealot with 5 kills is killing more SCVs over here at the third base. So many of them going down. Luckily for Alive, this base not with very many minerals left.
Wolf, those storms. The
Yeah.
2 storms from the high ground.
That was sick. I thought he was doomed until I saw those storms.
Yeah, the storms go in and suddenly I thought Alive was dead, but no. He goes in, positioned his army, and then targets down those Immortals one by one. Pam, with the stim and all those medivacs, he's able to make it happen. This is such a back and forth combat game.
Now, Alive's fourth base being a planetary is actually affecting his mineral mining a lot. He doesn't have any extra mules in there. He only has 3 orbitals. And that's really important as a Terran player, especially when your harvester count is a little bit lower, down to like 47. So he needs to be dropping every single mule he can at that base. He's got 7 active right now, so he's got a sick economy. But, you know, an extra orbital would have helped. This pylon goes down.
He should stop mining gas.
Yeah, I think he actually already has.
No, he's still mining. He
Yeah,
needs to
a
pull
little
those
bit.
SCVs out. He has like 3 SCVs at least in gas. I think he has even more at his... yeah, he has 4 or 5
4 in
SCVs
total.
mining gas. He needs to pull those out. He's lacking minerals, but on the other hand, he's already oversaturated at his 4th base.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have another mineral line.
Yeah, he's only got basically well, hold that thought. We're having another engagement here. Some good snipes.
Where did Alive suddenly get 1,500 minerals?
But he dropped 7 mules at once at that base.
Okay, there we go. This is income. This is Terran, my friends. There they are, the mules.
Drops another scan, and every scan really counts for Alive right now. So the Warp Prism comes out with Warp Prism speed now. This is going to help Trap with his
Yeah.
storms. I mean, it's going to obviously help with drops if he goes for them, but more importantly, the storms, I think.
You know what Wydra would say right now?
What?
Mules are good unit.
They are, pretty
They
much.
definitely are. I love you talked about the Warp Prism already a bit. I really like this approach. Going for the Warp Prism speed and the Warp Prism will give him a lot of mobility. And if he can now suddenly just out-multitask Alive, this is one of those approaches that you can take when you want to defeat your opponent. So I really like that he's going down this road.
He killed several of those workers, by the way, with using hold position. Knowing the Marines were there, he just walked right up next to the SCVs that were on the gas and he used hold position. Now, the Warp Prism, there's only one of them on the map. I'm going to try to locate it so that I can give you guys more updates on it. It's around somewhere. There it is. Okay, so it's in the main. It's got 2 High Templar inside of it, and he's going to be using this Warp Prism. He's got to avoid the Vikings. There's still 2 Vikings in this composition. If he can avoid the Vikings and get a good angle with those storms, we've seen how much damage they can do. It's just like the storms we saw earlier on top of the ramp. Oh, he's going to catch these long-distance mining probes.
Nice. A brilliant scan here. He gets a few of those Zealots for
This
free.
position is really important
It's
for Alive.
perfect. If he kills the production, then Trap is out of luck here.
The storms are in a Warp Prism that's light years away from this army. Why is he not using it? He just moved it too. It's like he's not considering using any storms here. Now he's got units in his main. He's going to have to with these sentries.
Yeah.
Force field late.
Trap is in a lost situation. He has to walk up the ramp or he has to lose his entire production. He can't
has to
afford
fight.
to lose this. Look how Alive suddenly pulls ahead in the overall supply.
Yeah, he needs to fight here, and he's just not doing it. Now he finally decides to get a little bit closer, but he needs to get this Warp Prism over.
I'm really worried for him here.
Now here we go. Storms on the Ghosts.
The EMPs are good though. He has the EMPs in. Here comes another storm. A second storm hits home. The rest of the High Templars is gone. And now suddenly Trap is dropping in supply. The Immortals are gone. There is still a force in
Nice
the main
kiting
base.
way too many
Alive.
medevacs here,
Oh
and
my
Alive starts to take out the production in the main.
Alive is doing this so well right now. The production of Trap is limited to a minimum. He doesn't have a lot of minerals either, and Alive is still mining from the base to the right side of the map, has 104 supply, taking a 30 supply lead, and just look at the money that he has. Now starting to hit his production cycles again. This is what you have to do. Alive is now just so close of winning this game.
He's killed, if I'm not mistaken, yes, he's killed the Templar Archives, so that means no more storms. He has to remake that. Now, Trap in a desperate situation where he has a total of 1 High Templar on the map and 1 storm, even 2 storms with that Templar, which he doesn't have enough energy for it. It's not going to be enough.
You talked about how positional Trap played the entire game, how he tried to force Alive into a bad spot, but then Alive turns it around against his opponent and gets this position. Another High Templar being shot down. The storm goes off, but it's not doing too much damage, and there are so many medivacs that can heal. Alive's beautiful move, getting into his opponent's natural and production, won him the game here. This is GG.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's way too much damage here. The probes are fighting, they're going down. I mean, Alive triples supply now, quadruples. And GG Alive ties the series, puts us into a 1-1 situation. Game 1, timing attack. Game 2, late game. This is the former Fnatic Alive.
This was amazing. I love this. This was entertaining. There were a lot of cute moves. Of course, also a lot of minor mistakes, but still, having Trap use the Warp Prism so well, we've seen this already last week when we had the Warp Prism with High Templars, but it didn't really work out. The High Templars were dropped on top of the army, didn't do anything. This time, Trap did it a lot better, already pre-hotkeyed, dropped those storms, did so much damage, especially to the top right, when we suddenly had him on the high ground with the 2 High Templars hitting the entire army of Alive. Both players with amazing micro here. I love this.
Well, let's put all of our poker chips in the middle here because we're going on GSL Icarus, the all-in map. Every single player, every single game I have watched on this map, there has been no third base. It's a timing attack from both players, and how those timing attacks collide can be crazy. We have a gold patched mineral base in the back, which is free to take. So usually both players take this expansion very early. With the extra gas and extra minerals you get, you have a big opportunity for an attack. Let's find out what's going to happen here.
We're jumping into the game. This is the last chance for both of them to advance to the second round. The loser will drop to Code B. This is the GSL, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first round of Hell on Wolf.